Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics Related Madness Network. Huh? So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Your favorite podcast, it's Critical Blast.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
And I'm Scott Wakefield, host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham, where we talk about comic books and all kinds of great storytelling, sometimes with incredible guests. And we want you to join us Wednesday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you there.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Silver Sunday. Let me think right in my face. Back it up. So, welcome to Silver Sunday on this March the 14th, 2021 year of our Lord. So we're here to talk about card games tonight. But before we get in, we have lots of housework. Housework? That's not the right word. Kind of the right word, isn't it? What's the word I'm looking for? You know, house cleaning. Maybe not really cleaning, are we? Anyway, let's do some introductions. So I'm Roland. I am the chief cat herder here. Finally it opened there. I've been waiting for this browser to open. I'm still, if I get robotic, I'm still on the old one. It has been ordered. You guys have seen that it's ordered, so it's on the way. But it takes me literally, I click and I have to sit here and wait before things open. So so we're just going to go around my murderer's row here and everybody introduce yourselves. I'm just going to go clockwise this time.
I'll go last.
So that would make you next.
Who?
Roberta.
Me? You.
Oh, because I'm right next to Roland, so okay, I gotta put you guys in order.
Not on my screen. On my screen, it's me and then Roberta and then Aaron going down.
Well,
and then on the
I'm
left-hand
sorry
side,
that
it's-
only your screen matters, Roland. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'll just call your name. Where's my clip? Where's my teacher clipboard?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Can you take attendance?
When I call your name, would you please raise your hand and say you're here? Roberta,
Hello.
tell people who you are.
Hi, I'm Roberta Conroy. I'm a graphic designer by day and a colorist in all hours of the night. And anyway, I'm a former Malibu Comics colorist and a current Silverliner. Yay! I'm working on Cat and Mouse and a new series called Champion and Miss Fury, Silverline Team Up.
Look what, Roberta, look what somebody sent me.
Is that a Malibu watch?
That is a
Cool.
Malibu watch.
Wow.
Yes, isn't that cool? Still in the box. So I was very excited to get that.
That
So
is amazing.
okay, in the dough. Aaron, you can go next.
Yay! My name is Aaron Humphreys. I'm the penciler on the Friar Rush comic, which is issue 2's kickstarting right now with Twilight Grim, and I am also working on an upcoming Silverline comic that I don't think we've really announced yet, but I'm working on that, and I do my own comic, Goblins, which is on Webtoons, and we'll be starting soon. I got a little. I have my cover over there to finish, and then I'm done with it. But I have client work to do, so it's sitting there waiting for my attention. That's okay.
So, Godlings, you're on issue number
10 will be
10?
done, and then I'll have 2 more left, and then it's done.
I like how you
Nice.
said you do the cover last. That's cool.
I do the covers. I always do them last. I don't know why.
Mhm.
I said that, and who was somebody
Because the
else?
thing's done, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Most people do the covers first. I always do them last. That way I can look at what I've done in the comic and do a cover. I try to do covers based on what's happening in the book. That way I'm not doing a cover and be like, why can't I figure out how to fit this in? So, yeah, I always do that.
You could read the story to find out what's going on in the comic.
No, that's stupid.
And all the sound effects.
Yeah,
That's right, and all the sound effects too.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to talk to Wes to make sure that he has lots of sound effects.
You put them in the yes.
Yeah.
Be tons
Sound
of 'em.
effect panels.
That's
All
right.
that.
Barb, tell everybody who you are sitting in your Game of Thrones chair.
Yes, my garage sale chair. I'm Barb Kelberg, a longtime inker since 1989. I am the CFO of Silverline. I'm inking Cat and Mouse, the original series, and coloring the remix of the graphic novel Sirens. And I am the creator, co-writer, inker, and colorist for Divinity, which is now an award-winning series.
The award-winning Divinity. That's right. Very cool. That's right. We've got to find some way, Barb, that we can actually plaster that on the covers now. Award-winning.
That would be great.
Yeah. I think so.
We may need to get one of our multiple designers on that.
Yes. Yeah. We'll have to make sure, because we want to incorporate the award itself. Now, you said that they were going to be sending something. Were you serious about that, or just
No,
joking around?
we're going to
Are
send
they
it to
joking?
you, apparently.
Okay. Well, that's probably because I'm local to most of them, I guess. They're probably just going to give it to me the next time they see me and save the postage, which will probably be here in about 2 weeks when we
That'd be
do a
great.
little Olo here in Orlando. So that's just a guess. I don't know, but yeah, I don't. No one's asking me for my address or anything like that, so I don't know. And last but not least, we have John, the Viking Prince Voltan Martin.
I am an anchor for Silverline. My name is John. And I eat Fire Rush, and which is on Kickstarter right now, issue 2. I also did another cover for
So go
that.
back it.
Yeah, so go back it. Like I've been posting like off and on for the last since it started. And I'm inking Wolf Hunter, and causing all kinds of trouble,
And you are several pages into Wolf Hunter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, how many pages are you into that?
I can see that I've got a delay here. Again, already. I was hoping I wouldn't get a delay until like 10 or 10:30, but no.
Like almost done with page 8.
One of those nights.
Yes.
We're off to a great
Almost
start.
done with page 8. It sounds good. Yeah. So let me do some shout outs here. Want to shout out to Daytona Beach Comic Con. Thank you so very much, Tom and Daytona Beach Comic Con, for being our sponsor. Daytona Beach is going to be in September I think it's 18th and 19th, 17th, 18th, 18th, 19th, that weekend. So make your plans to attend. Daytona Beach Comic Con is the comic con to go to if you love comics. As far as other conventions go, Brent and I will be at Olo here in 2 weeks in Orlando. So thank you, Daytona Beach Comic Con. Let's give you an update for the Kickstarters, though. So for those of you who backed Switchblade Remix and Team Beetle #1, all of those are shipped out. I checked the Pirate Ship, which is the tracking software that we use. I checked that yesterday, I think, and they haven't all been delivered yet, but it looks like about 95% of those have been delivered. So there's still a few of you who don't have them yet, but they are all gone from here. They're all sent out. They're all on the way to you. If you have questions or concerns about that in your package, just drop me an email and I'll get you a tracking number, because I have tracking numbers on all of the packages. But you should get them, I would say, probably Monday, Tuesday of this week. At the latest, I would think, unless you live kind of, out in the boonies somewhere that it takes them an extra day or two to deliver. But we do have another one that is live. We have the Silverline double feature, Twilight Grim and Friar Rush #2. This is the second issue for both of those series. And don't worry, though, if you're saying, yeah, but I didn't get #1, those are all available. I will tell you this, Kickstarter has added the function of add-ons. And I absolutely love it, because we are able to do things a whole lot easier. For those of you who backed a lot of our campaigns, you were able to see, wow, what happened to the front page with all that list of the 50 of these reward tiers. Well, that's gone now. So we kept the reward tiers simple. I think there's four reward tiers and then one for the retailers. So basically you pick out what you want. That takes you to the next page, which is the add-ons. And that's when you can decide if you want something else. Do you want the variant covers? Do you need Friar Rush and Twilight Grim #1 because you missed #2? That's your opportunity to add on. Also, that's the same place where you go and get the artwork. Now, here's one of the cooler things about the add-ons, okay? So previously, if you wanted a page of art, it was in a tier, and you had to pick it. And if you wanted another page, you almost had to bid a second time for a whole second tier, or email me and say, hey, I kind of like the second page, this other page, what can you do? And then I usually, if I could catch it in time, I would remove it and then add it to your thing. You don't have to do that now. All you got to do is go to the add-ons and you can say, I want this page, I want this page, I want this page, I want this comic book, and it does it all for you. And once it's gone, it removes it. It's a very, very nice thing, and I'm so glad that Kickstarter has done this. It's been something that I've been wishing they would have for a couple of years now. So it's made it a whole lot easier. So if you're looking for the artwork, if you're looking for some of that stuff, I know R.A. Jones sent me a message earlier and said he had a friend who was looking for the artwork. It's on the second page, okay? So you gotta pick the comic you want. Pick that. I want the Kickstarter double feature. And then it will take you to the next page where you get to do all the add-ons, and that's where you will find the artwork, as well as additional comics. And I will say this, because it's all new, so I've been peeking around trying to figure out how it's working. And there have been several of the backers who have taken advantage of the back issue stock. And there have been several, I'm guessing at this point in time, but I want to say maybe a dozen back issues that the backers have selected and say, hey, I want this one, I want this one. And they're weird too, because you can tell that they missed a Kickstarter, because one of them was like, I know that one of them for sure was like Cat and Mouse #2. I'm like, what about 1 and #3, right? So they must have got the first Kickstarter and the third Kickstarter, but missed the second issue. And so, yeah, so get over there, back in. We are currently, as I look at the screen, and I'm not going to hit update because my computer will take forever to do it. We are at $1,608, $1,608, which means we've got about 900 left to go to hit the goal. So get over there, take a peek at it. If you can't pledge, if you're one of those who can't pledge, we totally get it. We understand. We're still living in the plague world. You can share it though. Share it to all your friends who you think might be interested in something like this. And also, don't just share it, but tell them, hey, these people rock. They make good comics. Go pledge. Go support them. Give it your voice of approval, and your friends will go back it. So we're gonna try to play that video here maybe a little bit later. But the last I heard, the unpaid producer said it hadn't uploaded yet. Can you see it yet, unpaid producer? Okay, so, and I forgot to, I always forget this, but Brett, please don't think that means I forget about you, because that's not the case. Working behind the scenes is our unpaid producer. Brett, who is turning all the knobs and pushing all the buttons to make sure that you get to do. You get to see all the stuff. Speaking of which, Brett, I guess you want to make sure you get somebody up on the screen. Who's arting right now? Who wants to share? Roberta, you want to share?
Sure.
All right. So, Brett, take care of that. Get Roberta up there. So that's the Kickstarter. Get on over there and support that. All right. Looks like we got some chat already going here. Bobby Westovich says, "Look at Big Dummy again. What's up, Screw Loose?" For those of you who don't remember or haven't been here, Bobby Westovich is my father-in-law. That's why I lovingly refer to him as Screw Loose. Phil Leon says, "What's Silverline peeps? Sup, Silverline peeps? Working on another White Devil page. Yay! Woo, Phil, looking good." Phil's been sharing privately some of the White Devil pages, also by R.A. Jones. Oven says, "Hello, Silverline family. What's up, Oven?" Oven, I'm hoping I may see you here in a couple of weeks at Olo. I'm thinking that might be a show that you can make it to, and I'm hoping I get to see you there. Wubba says, "Hola." So Wubba, we miss you, man.
Yeah, where are you, man?
Yeah. He's still at that Super Bowl party.
yeah. And I guess Pete's still sleeping.
Yeah, he said he was going to be here tonight.
He did. Yeah, he said he was going to be here. But I guess his alarm didn't go off. We're missing Belcher. Belcher's not here. Of course, the last time I talked to Mike, he was in the middle of they were in the middle of a pretty nasty flood up their way. So yeah, he said his house was fine. He was kind of on a hill, but he was kind of surrounded by water, and they hadn't been able to get out in some time. Oh, I recognize that page. Roberta looks great.
I jumped ahead because this is fun.
Yeah. Yay! No, it looks good.
It's getting there.
So Roberta, do you want to tell people?
Sure.
Do you want to tell people what you're working on? Yeah.
This is a splash page from Champion and Miss Fury, and this is a warehouse where he's loaded up with who knows what kind of artillery, and there's engineer guys helping out, get them all ready. So. There's a lot to color in this. It took me a long time to get just the basic color set. But here it is. So I'm going to color it.
I love that color hold down there on the bottom.
Yeah, and this one is hard, so I'm going to work on the moon a little better. But getting there.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
Looking fantastic. Yeah. So that's from Silverline Team Up, Champion and Miss Fury. Penciled by our very own Pete, who's not here, who's probably sleeping and having sweet dreams, and inked by Thomas Floramonti, who actually said he might crash tonight, so I sent him the link. Wubba laughed, and then he said, "A screaming baby Sith Lord, brother and his family moved in yesterday."
Oh, that's great.
I'm glad that wasn't a private message because I just read it out loud for everyone to hear.
Yeah.
He'll be all right.
All right. Yeah, he'll be all right. It's family, right? Okay, so let's see. What am I missing? Am I missing anything, guys?
Yes, merchandise.
Oh, yeah.
Merchandise. That's right. Speaking of which, y'all hang out after the end of the show. We're going to talk about it a little bit. So we got merchandise. We've got a poster, which you can see right there. That's available. We've got shirts that are available that you can get. See, I'm modeling this nice Silverline shirt here. I was supposed to spend some time with the CEO today and work on trying to get it. We're like this close to getting the merch store live. But my nap turned into a really long nap, and I didn't spend the time with her that I told her I would, and so yeah, so I didn't get to do that. So hopefully we'll be able to jump on that some tomorrow and we're looking to get our merch store live. The other thing is, hopefully, after tomorrow, we're going to get some of our streams scheduled as podcasts. Brett has been working very hard behind the scenes on those, splitting the audio off of the videos that we do here. So if you happen to listen to this podcast, a year later, we've been working on it this long. So we're adding some stuff in. The system that we're using looks like it's going to give us a chance to monetize. And I don't know exactly what that means as of yet, but I'm going to chase it and see where it leads me. But I think it really just what it means, at least I can tell at this point, is that we've got to create a gap in the middle for them to insert an ad in. And then that will, in the middle of our stream, and then they'll stick an ad in, and then that will allow us to monetize it. So I'm willing to give that a shot if it can, get us a few dollars here and there. So we're going to try it. But we're really close. Hopefully tomorrow or Tuesday we'll actually be able to get a couple of those scheduled, and we can announce when the first ones will drop, and then we'll be regular from that point on. So yeah, merch store. Make sure you're pop on over and fly your Silverline colors. Get your shirt, all kind of your poster, other cool stuff, and hopefully we'll have a place to direct you soon. Tommy says, wonderful looking page, Roberta, looking so good. Sorry I can't jump on tonight. Got stuff going on at the house. Besides, Aaron said he didn't want me crashing y'all's show.
That panel right there where he's
I told
all
that
90s.
punk to stay away.
What's that?
I was going to say that panel where he's all 90s up, that should be a print.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we should take him, silhouette him out and use him on something.
Oh, he needs a few more pouches there, I think.
Oh, he doesn't have enough pouches.
Yeah.
They're being hidden by his extra pouches because he's got a lot in his pants normally.
He's probably got a couple of pouches behind those Thor knee pads too.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, it's all part of the story. But you got to read it. Read it to find out what's going on.
Great. So
part of me wants to share that to Rob and see what he thinks.
Rob, which Rob?
Oh,
the
Rob.
Whitefield, yeah. The Rob, yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay, anything else before we move on to our topic? Anybody else got anything cool, exciting? So tonight we're talking about card
It's
games.
like our lives are all boring.
I know.
Yeah. This is an unusually sedate Sunday night, isn't it?
Screaming? Maybe a little bit.
For the
A little bit.
I don't know.
A little bit. A little bit.
That lost hour of sleep and got us all.
You know what? That's
yeah.
And BJ's calling it jet lag, and I think it does kind of feel like that, doesn't it?
Biorhythms are off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like one of those cars you had to keep pressing the gas to get to start in the morning.
Keep going. Keep going.
So let's talk about, before we dive in too deep. So when I say card games, I'm just gonna run through here. When I say card games, what's the first thing that comes to your mind, Aaron?
Usually not like tactical card games. I play like what was it? Thunderstone Quest is one I like. Those kind of things, card games. I usually don't play a lot of deck card games, but those are the ones that come to my mind.
Okay. Roberta, when I say card games, first thing that comes to mind.
War.
Oh, so like a regular deck of cards. War?
Like regular deck of cards, yeah.
That's what we used to play when we were kids. We used to play War all the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, but that's
John,
always on
what about
Roberta's
you?
mind.
Oh, when you talk about card games, that goes everything from
Yeah.
spades to freaking Cards Against Humanity to Magic the Gathering.
Mm,
Right.
Yeah.
right. Barb, you.
Poker. Poker.
What?
Poker.
Poker.
Hey, poker.
Yeah,
I don't even
poker.
know her.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's so really
And suddenly
bad.
we're kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah. I even taught poker to my son, and he became a fan of doing online poker, even though he didn't spend any money on it, or if he does, he usually wins it back. But his name is Joshua Royal. His middle name is Royal. My father's name is Royal. And my grandson's middle name is Royal. It's a family name. So anyway, he enters all of these online poker tournaments. His name is Royal Flush.
Not subtle at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oben says my go-to is Magic the Gathering. Yeah. And I actually kind of John's got his deck there, and I actually kind of think there may be a little something to that. I think that I'm not suggesting any of you here are old, but certainly we're not of the college demographic anymore, and I think that probably those that skew closer to that demographic than us, when you say card games, I think their first thought is Cards Against Humanity, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, things like that. When you say card games to me, I think of things like Pinochle, Hand and Foot, full 52 card deck games like that. War is not the first one that comes to mind, but yeah, along that line, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
No, we never played a lot of those games. We played Uno. I think that's the one we played, but we never played a lot of games with regular card decks. I did play poker a little bit when I was in high school, but I think we're really bad at it.
I played quite a few Uno games that ended up to fight.
What?
Because I don't
How
care
did
what
that
Uno
happen,
says.
John?
I don't care what Uno says. Here in Memphis, in the hood, you're allowed to stack all draws and all skips and reverses.
Oh, you have your own set of rules. I
Okay,
see.
so
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so what do you mean by stack? I don't know that one.
For example, if it's
Uh-huh.
draw twos and like a draw four, you can stack it all and it goes to that next player.
So you can
The
just
next
keep
player.
playing them. One player can continue to play them.
That's how I grew up learning how to play.
He's defending himself now.
I
Getting
know,
defensive.
I'm not accusing you. I'm asking.
I thought
And
when
that's
you
how
put it,
everybody I know knows how to play.
so you're saying that when you put down a draw
Me.
two, it affects every other player except not just the player that goes
No,
next?
no, it's like for example, if you're next after
Uh-huh.
me, and you're affected by what I play,
Right.
Uh-huh.
I stack a bunch of draws. You have to draw all those cards.
Oh.
So if you've got a red drop two, a yellow drop two, and a green drop two, you can play all three of those. Boom,
Uh-huh.
boom, boom. And Aaron has to draw all of them.
That's like
Yep.
6 cards. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've had somebody draw
Yeah.
like 14 before.
Good grief. Yeah, I've never heard of that rule. That's a John rule.
No,
Yeah.
it's not a John
So-
rule.
Yeah, we don't
So,
like your rules,
what-
John. We veto it.
Yeah.
As the United Nations,
So,
we veto.
Oh, they got Uno's got
When-
that. Uno's got that card where you can like make your own cards now.
Right. Yeah, we
And I
started.
got one that says draw 10.
That's evil.
I got one that says draw the rest of the deck.
Yeah.
and then I got one that's pass all hands to the left, and then another one that says pass your hand to
Yeah.
the right.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yes.
So what's interesting, we played when I first started teaching, I taught ESL, and English is the second language, and the Japanese were one of the big demographics that I taught. They played Uno where you could add the cards up. So if I played a 9 and you had a 3 and a 2 and a 3, 4, 5 and another 2 and a 1, you could play all of those because they added up to 9. Right?
Who's making up rules
Yeah.
now?
It wasn't my rule. It was theirs. Because I saw
Yeah.
them playing. I'm like, what are you doing? How are you doing that? And they explained they could add them up. Now, it had to be the same color, but they
Yeah.
could add them up and play them as long as they equal the number on the card that had just been played.
So they can play like a red 3, like a red was it like a red 3, a blue 3, and like a yellow 3. And as long as the numbers added up to 9.
No, they had to all be like red. Like if
Okay,
if
the
the
same
person
color.
played if
I
the person
see what
played
you're
a
saying.
red 9, you had to play all of your reds, but you could add them up to equal whatever
9.
the card was.
Oh, that's
Right,
interesting
yeah.
take.
Yeah, I've never tried to play that way, but it was interesting to watch them.
Yeah, it's a little more strategic. I mean I would think you would have to. I mean, I would be curious to ask them if you added up to 8, does that count? I mean, does it have to be added up to 9?
No, it has to be equal 9. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a little more limiting. Because I was like, if you could just, go up to 6, like close enough, then that doesn't. Yeah, you would have to.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, you had to hit the number right on. So, have any of you ever heard of King's Reverse?
No.
It literally is just Uno with a regular deck of cards.
Really?
I didn't. The funny thing is, I had never heard of Uno until I got to college. I played King's Reverse with my family for years. Right, my grandmother loved King's Reverse. The 8s are the skip cards. The kings are the reverse cards. The 2s are the draw 2s. The jokers are the draw 4s. The jacks are the just change the color. You play it without the next person drawing any cards, but you get to change the color. It literally is just Uno, but it's a regular deck of cards.
Interesting.
Yeah, called King's Reverse.
See, I
Never heard of it.
I love Trivial Pursuit, and I think we should do Trivial Pursuit one night on here.
You talking about here on this?
Yeah.
Do they have a comics book version? You think they would?
They do.
Oh,
Do they?
they do. I may have to.
Okay,
I
because
think
I'm
it
like,
was
if they got a
pop-
comic book version,
I think it's pop culture, Trivial
Oh,
Pursuit,
yeah.
something like that.
I would be
Okay.
up for that. I love Trivial Pursuit.
That'd be interesting.
So I've been looking into things that we can do into games that we could play.
We can split
I've been
into
trying to
teams.
research. A little bit to what games can you play on Zoom? And so I've been trying to figure out if there's anything that we can kind of come on here and have a game night ever so often. It would be fun, I think, for us to compete against the Whammers too.
yeah. I think that would be a natural way to split the teams up.
Yeah.
They're
Although
very serious people. But they're
they
game.
are very serious people, yeah. And man, they're into their Star Wars, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, they kind of like the whole Star Wars stuff. I don't really know why.
I like Star Wars too.
Yeah.
You mentioned that.
I
What was
like
Star
it too,
Wars?
but
Didn't somebody say something about Nicolas Cage too?
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah, like
He's a huge comic book fan.
yeah. But if you mention him on there, like, don't the Whammers get all irritated that you mentioned Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
Oh, they go off for long time about Nicolas Cage.
Dang it! I should
I
have said
want to
something
remember
on
that
Wednesday.
and save it for later.
Yeah,
Yes.
I should have said something on Wednesday night when I was a guest on there because every time the conversation started to lag, I should have said Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, no.
You should, Nicolas Cage is the greatest. And watch him go off.
I'm just going
Yeah,
to turn
I
around
think
and go,
John
Nicolas
thre-
Cage is a vampire. And then,
Yeah.
y'all have a good night.
I think John Medic threatened to make a PowerPoint on why he wasn't a good actor.
Yeah,
Why he was?
yeah, I should have said, "Oh, Nicolas Cage is my favorite." Then see what
We
happens.
knew
Watch it
we
blow
know
up.
you'd be lying, Barb, because we
Yes,
all
I
know
would be.
it's Robert Downey Jr.
This is true. This is true. That's my favorite. I'm so unapologetic about that too. I'm allowed.
So was it because so what did you like Robert Downey Jr. before he was Iron Man, or is it because he was
Yeah.
Iron Man?
Yeah, I liked him beforehand. I thought Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was awesome. Air America, I loved. Yeah, I liked him beforehand. Less Than Zero was
Okay.
that was intense.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good.
That was about
very
the
intense.
that was about the guy who got addicted to cocaine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read the book.
I wasn't a fan of
good book.
Dr. Dolittle. That was
Wasn't
I
excited.
love,
Apparently nobody
love.
was.
Yeah, I love the Sherlock Holmes movies though. So yeah,
Yes, those are good.
I really like him. So yeah, and he's only a few years younger than me. I'm
Let's
not,
hope.
so I'm not exactly perving on robbing the cradle or anything, you know.
That's great.
Yeah. Dick tunes into the stream for the first time tonight and she says, "Wait, what's this I hear, Barb?"
Are you trying to tell me that you like Robert Downey Jr. because he can actually open his own juice box?
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Yeah,
I
don't
mean,
need to
I
help
would
him with
feel
it.
I would feel guilty like perving on like Tom Holland or somebody like that. I was like, good Lord, he's old enough to be my grandson, you know? So yeah,
people
at
get
least
into that.
at least I'm keeping it fairly in this in the age group. So you know.
And we lost the YouTube live stream. All right.
What's perving on Tom Holland? That'll do it every time.
Yeah.
So John, go ahead, Aaron.
I don't know. Would you guys consider? Well, no. I play board games that have cards with them, like they're like Gloomhaven and other games that are played primarily with cards, but that do have a board component and moving pieces. Would you consider those? So when you're talking card games, you're talking strictly cards, just a deck of cards, or are you talking like
I think
anything can count that has cards incorporated into it?
Well, yeah, I guess I was thinking probably more, and I guess we kind of,
Yeah.
talk about it, see what's incorporated. I was kind of thinking more, you just have a deck of cards. It doesn't have to be your standard cards. You got
Yeah.
a deck of cards. You sit down at a table and you deal out cards, or you play your cards or whatever. Yeah, I guess that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
A game like Risk has cards, but I don't consider Risk a card.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah, that would be a board game. Okay, I
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
So, do you guys like? I mean, do any of you guys used to get into that? I never got into the collectible card games. Like, never like Pokemon. I guess Magic would be a collectible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Would you consider
Yeah.
collectible?
Well, John had his deck.
Yeah. So I remember somebody trying to teach me Magic. I kind of got it, and I kind of did. And I just kept saying, "Does this kill you? Would this kill you?" And I wasn't quite sure. I wasn't getting it. I kind of got a little bit, but yeah, it was. I had to play it a few times to get it. But what I did learn, I can see how it could be kind of intimidating. I mean, not intimidating to jump into, but once you kind of get into it, be addicting. Like once you learn it, enjoy it.
Yeah, I actually played tournaments in Magic the Gathering. I played in regional and stuff like that growing up and stuff like that.
Did
So
you?
Got
do
a
Oh, yeah.
people in the house.
So kind of, I never got how it was played. I just liked the artwork on the cards.
Yeah.
So kind of give me the rundown basics there on how it works.
on how it works.
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering.
Oh, basically you have 5 different lands. 5 different lands produce different colors of mana to be able to play spells, creatures, or abilities, and kind of goes from there. You're trying to beat another person.
It's almost like
Started-
wizards fighting kind of thing.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I always kind of took it as. Even just in the name, Magic the Gathering, like you were 2 wizards kind of using mana.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been playing it since '93.
So you have to like roll dice to get powers and stuff?
Nope,
No,
it's all in your
cards?
deck. Your deck
all
is
in
your
there?
library. You draw a card every turn.
Yeah, except for what I gathered, deck building, and I
Peter.
watched a little people deck building. by putting certain specific cards that go together in a deck, it's a lot of the cards work together better. So that's how you build it. Like you would, John probably knows more about this, but like if you're building maybe like the theme is desert, you put a lot of like desert cards or something together that support spells or whatever that make a deck stronger.
Well, if you have some sort of, I guess you could say, theme to the deck you're building to make
Yeah.
it cohesive and run smoothly, yeah. But the game nowadays, as they call the meta, it's nothing like it used to be.
Okay, because I remember like I was some deck building games would be like, like water, desert, fire decks, but I don't know if that was old Magic or other type of thing. Would it have a theme, and all the fire cards, if you had them in the deck, would work together to make you more powerful, something of that nature.
Well, you can play with multiple colors in a deck.
Oh, can you? Okay.
So the more
John, did
cards
ever
you
play
have,
where-
the more cards you have, the better chance you have of winning.
No, the better your strategy is, the better you have.
Okay,
chance
so
of
it's
winning.
it's a game of strategy.
Yeah. You have to be able to adapt on the fly to what you're playing against, because you don't know what the other player's playing with until after that first game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes it's also luck of
Did
the
you ever
draw.
play where you kept your opponent's cards? I know I read one time
It was
that you,
antes. It was called an ante, and it was back in the day when it first started, and they stopped doing that. It was
okay.
Yeah, all cards that required ante were banned and so forth. So
Okay.
Yeah.
And we are joined by Peter Clinton. Good morning, Pete.
Hey, you all changed your times and you don't tell me.
Well, yeah.
We are on. We set our clocks
yeah,
back.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
He wouldn't know that in London.
Yeah, I didn't even think.
Stupid American thing.
My fault, Pete.
Our clocks
Sorry
don't
about
change
that.
until
Yeah,
the end of we got end of the month. Our clocks change.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So you.
So they do change over the.
Yeah, of course.
I thought America was just like, oh, let's just do this dumb thing and change the time.
No, we just ours don't change till the end of the month.
Yeah, originally it was designed so that the agricultural workers.
It's for the farmers, yeah.
Yeah, it's for the farmers, but yeah, I think it's obsolete now, but everybody still stays to it.
Yeah, Utah's got a bunch of farmland, right?
Yeah.
They don't do the daylight savings time.
I don't think a part of Indiana doesn't. Like part of it said we're going to do it, and the other half said no, we're not. So like half of Indiana is on daylight savings time, and the other half isn't. So you cross into one county, and they've got a different time than the other one. It's like,
and Hawaii doesn't do it.
I think, and I don't think Arizona. I think Arizona did away with it several years ago.
Yes.
I don't think they do it anymore. Yeah, so it's not a uniform thing anymore.
No, it's trying to get more work out of the daylight hours, and that was before every single tractor had multiple searchlights on them, so you can see where you're going. I mean, if you ever seen a combine going down in a field at night, they've got more lights on it than an emergency vehicle.
Oh yeah.
They can see in the dark now.
Yes, my uncle was a land leveler, and he's got the big machines too, but they're all made for leveling land. Everything's done by satellite. He drives his pickup truck with the satellite GPS thing on it, drives it zigzags over the land that they're going to level, programs that in, sets his tractors on the spot, and literally I don't know if they push a button, but they make it go. And the drivers can just kind of sit back there and do this while it drives and does what it's supposed to do, and they turn it around and get it on the bus.
I'm a farm girl, and my dad still lives on a farm, and I was back there for several months this summer, and it was just fascinating to watch in the fall time when they were combining corn, and it's all GPS driven. They just turn it around at the end. And let it go. It drives itself, and they're sitting there. I watched a guy go past in the field, and he's sitting there reading a book.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they all they look up every once in a while. And then when they get to the end of the field, they turn it around and let it go, and then just go back to their book.
Yep.
Wow, I
Yep.
wish it was like that when I was growing up, because
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. It was certainly not like that on my grandfather's farm. Phil Leon says a bill is supposed to be on the table to eliminate daylight savings time. So they say this may be our last clock change.
really,
Pete, I am sorry.
Okay.
It is. I didn't even think to let you know that we changed the time. Totally my fault. I apologize, sir.
Oh well, I'm up.
Zoom
Who's
Yeah.
up now? We're talking about card
We
games.
talked about you at the
Like
at your introduction.
poker.
Have you ever played
Yes.
Magic the Gathering, Peter?
No. And I can't understand the slightest bit of it.
Well,
John was
apparently
trying to
Come to
John
the
is the
States,
only
I'll
one
teach
here.
it.
John's
you would
the only
make
one here
fun
that
of the
plays.
kids that played Magic. That was Peter's job.
I've seen people come in to like the comic shop and they play. They would like host like an evening.
Oh,
where
yeah.
and they would get out the
Yeah.
cards and yeah, they try explaining it to us, but no, I've got no clue what they're doing. No clue.
Don't they have a digital version? John, do you know this? Don't they have a
They
digital version
do.
of Magic?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
There's
Actually,
an
they
app
have
for
two
everything.
digital versions. One is Ancient, and it's Magic the Gathering Online, and then they have Magic the Gathering Arena.
Okay.
Is that what Jeff Whiting plays?
No, he plays
Online, is
Hearthstone,
that-
which is basically a digital Magic the Gathering style game.
And they don't have an
Okay,
actual physical version of Hearthstone. Hearthstone is just digital, isn't it?
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, so, can somebody
Actually, World of Warcraft used to have a card game kind of like Magic the Gathering.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have some of the cards. Sorry.
I need to
Can-
apologize.
can somebody explain to me what Cards Against Humanity is?
Oh, it's
Hilarious.
So funny.
I've just heard it on Wednesday. It's like, what the hell is that? So somebody explain it to me.
Basically, I don't know. Can I explain this without getting us kicked off of YouTube?
Choose your words carefully.
You'll have to use euphemisms.
Well,
Yeah.
you can be as terrible and as naughty as you want to be,
I'm
and
gonna
if
look into
whoever,
this.
but make it funny.
Okay,
So if you got some really dark humor, throw it out there.
this sounds like
and-
my kind of game.
And it goes around and everybody reads a card and everybody has to choose a card to finish that sentence or finish that card. And whoever you think's funniest wins that turn. And whoever wins the most cards by the end of it all wins the game. But of course, if you're drinking while you're doing it, it gets really hilarious and you're not going to know who the heck won by the end of it anyway.
I'm
So
definitely
basically,
gonna
Yeah.
it's a finish the phrase kind of game.
Yes, but
Yes.
it can get really horrible.
Well, that's up my alley then. I'm all over that. I'm gonna have to find that one.
So
play-
when I come to Florida, I'm bringing my Cards Against Humanity.
That's gonna be a fun evening. That's gonna be a fun evening. I'm trying to think if I played that one. I think I played Exploding Kittens.
What?
What
is that?
Explode. So, Aaron, before you talk about Exploding Kittens, I want to tell you, I watched Exploding Kittens, the Kickstarter, go to like $8 million or
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that. It
Easy.
was nuts. I just sat there and watched that thing just constantly go and go. I'm like, it's a stupid card game. Why is this thing getting $8 million?
This is why I
Right.
keep saying
Uh,
maybe Silverline should make a card game based on some of their comic characters. Dude, like if we could
I feel
figure out
like
a
I
card
now
game or
need to
something,
play-
why not?
So, Aaron, tell us about Exploding Kittens. I may need to buy this
yeah,
game.
tell us.
I am trying to remember. So I apologize to the internets if I screw up the rules. It's been a while. It was basically like you play these certain cards and you try to, if you get an exploding kitten, you have to get rid of it or pass it to somebody else before it blows up and like hurt you or something like that nature. Now I'm probably getting this wrong. It's been a long time. I did play one called based off the video game called Bloodborne. that was a card game, but that was actually really fun, even though it was based off a video game. And that was, you're basically all hunters hunting these cards or creatures that you'd flip over the cards in the middle. But the way you win the game is by screwing over the other hunters. So you would do certain, like, your weapons were like, this weapon does so much damage to the creature, but then will also do damage to the person on the left. Or it will, so you can kill things and then hurt your people, and you're supposed to collect these. But that was really fun to basically kind of screw over your friends. And I think there's other games like that. I think the funnest one I played was one called Enter the Dungeon. It was a very simple card game, and it was basically like a betting game. You had to bet. It was like you kept putting things down in this dungeon, and the dungeon, like these certain cards, like the one player into the dungeon had to defeat all the cards, and then you kept like getting more weapons or whatever, and so you kept betting your friends, do you really want to go into the dungeon? And of course, if you die, you lose. It's been a while, but I remember it being like, it's basically betting your friends going into the dungeon, but the longer they wait, because you want to build up your forces, but the longer you wait, the more, because your friends would put down cards to make the dungeons harder, to bet you to go in, to screw you. So it was, I don't know. So I played some interesting card games, and that have a lot of like artwork and stuff that are actually really fun. But I think most of them I always gathered based off actual regular card games. They just took a theme like fantasy or sci-fi and built the game around that, and then used the rules. Like you were saying, Uno was based off that King's Reverse.
No, I didn't say it was
Same
based
concept.
off
But it was like
yeah,
it.
it's the same. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know which came first. It's just that I'd never heard of Uno until college.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sitting here. Apparently, Exploding Kittens even has a mobile app.
Oh, Jesus. There's an app for everything.
There's an app for that.
Yeah.
And the thing the phrase used to be, "There's a pill for that." Okay. Anyway, it says you play the game by putting the deck face down and taking turns drawing cards until someone draws an exploding kitten. When that happens, that person explodes. They are now dead and out of the game. This process continues until there's only one player left.
Okay.
But I think there were ways to get rid of the exploding kitten. If I remember, you can have certain cards that can defeat, like if you draw exploding kitten, you can defuse it, or you can draw cards to pass it on to another player. So there are ways to kind of defeat the kitten. So
I never thought I'd hear a word defeat the kitten.
I know there's a lot of games out there that are really, I think I'm trying to remember if this was a card game, but this was a memory game, and I remember it being really funny. You would draw cards, and then there were certain things we had to do, certain actions. So if it came to your turn, as the cards were stacked in the deck, you had to like wave your hand, like they would have cards like nobody could use the word "the" in a sentence. Or or you had to like, so there was these rules. So as the game went along, you set up these certain rules you couldn't do, and of course people would always screw up and say that, and like, oh man, I'm out. And then once you screw up a rule, you're out. So it was like one of those, whoever got really good at remembering like all of the certain steps you had to do to play your hand. And I can't remember what that game was called. I think it was called like something weird, like This Is Not a Test, or This Game Is a Test Game, or it was something weird. But I remember that game being really fun because it was really hard to remember all the rules. Yeah, it was like all the crazy stuff you'd have to do.
My memory is crap.
Roberta, it is impressive watching you select all this stuff. You are moving so quickly through that. Yeah.
Thank you for.
So are you using a mouse or a pen?
I'm using a pen. Okay. And I'm struggling against the fact that the stream takes away some of the processing power, so it just sometimes doesn't do what I just told it to do, and I go.
Are you on a Wacom? Or are you using like a Cintiq?
Yeah, Wacom. Oh no Cintiq for me. I would have to look expensive. At it. Yes, they are, but I also can't imagine live streaming like this with my hand in the screen.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I think, wouldn't it be like
once drawing on everybody?
Once you post your screen,
have the camera somewhere else. Yeah. That's all. Yeah. Anyway, I've never been able to afford those. And
well, Barbara, your iPad.
I have the coordination that some people complain about, that they like the Cintiqs because they can't really look at a screen and draw at the same time because
Yeah.
you're looking somewhere else. I can do that. So I don't think that it's necessary.
It took me forever. I can color
Ah.
with my Wacom, but I can't draw with it still. I still can't. I can draw. I've drawn on a Cintiq, but I can't draw.
Is
with
that the
Wacom.
one where you're drawing on a pad and the screen is somewhere else? So
Yeah, so
you're not-
Wacom pad is when you're drawing
Okay.
on the pad on your lap, and it's mimicking the screen. The Cintiq is literally drawing
Okay,
on the screen.
on the
We're,
screen. Okay, I
It's
got you.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
And
Barbara's
pretty
iPad
simple.
basically is a Cintiq.
Okay, yeah.
That's why. And I thought of that a long time ago when they first started doing the touchpads. I was like, why didn't they make these in Cintiqs? And people were like, that's a good idea. And then later on they did. And I'm like, because it seemed like, because Cintiqs were expensive. And
They still are.
I think they're
Yeah.
still cheapest one is like $1,000.
yeah.
Jesus.
If that, it's probably closer to 2,000.
And that's all it does. It's just a
It's a
It's a screen.
beautiful screen that you can draw on.
That's what I've
Yeah,
got.
it's
What is it?
definitely a pretty screen. It's I think most people doing iPads like you, Barb.
yeah.
The
Well,
one
that's
thing,
nice, Pete. That's big.
Yeah, it's just a screen,
yeah,
but so I've connected
Yeah.
to the laptop to draw on it. But yeah,
But I
just-
mean,
can't,
like
Oh, okay.
like a
can't look
Cintiq,
over here and draw there. That's weird for me. I don't.
yeah.
like a Cintiq.
Yeah.
All it does is artwork. It doesn't connect to the internet or
You can buy ones that are built-in computers, but they're a few
Tablets.
thousand. They're a few
Oh.
thousand quid.
oh
Yeah,
my god.
I'm desperate for one of those, but they're expensive.
Win the lottery, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work at a job.
That.
Well, my boss was like, "Do you want a Cintiq?" And I was like, "Oh no, don't worry. I can do things by hand, and don't spend your money." And then I told everyone else that, and everyone else was like, "No, go make them buy a Cintiq. We want to play with them." I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, I guess everyone wants a Cintiq, and they're like, yes. I'm like, okay. And that thing generated heat, and I don't know. Obviously the iPad does it, but I remember the amount of heat that would generate. Like my hands would get sweaty and stuff because the screen was always hot. It actually got kind of annoying after a while, a little bit. I mean, and also because I like to spin my picture around. I turn my picture on when I draw, and it's very hard to do that in Cintiq. There are ways, exactly. The iPad works wonders for that.
Yeah.
But you can't do that with the Cintiq, not if it's sitting on a desk. You can spin the picture, you can turn it, but it's
That's okay,
annoying.
You can spin the picture though, yeah.
You can. It
Yeah,
just,
I can spin the picture on here too.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I've seen
Yeah.
Tommy doing that. I do a lot of shows. Tommy and I
Yeah.
are usually there together, and I watch him a lot of times. And Jeff Whiting
Yeah.
too. We did a bunch. John, when we came up to Memphis, I watched Jeff do all that with the screen.
I do remember drawing on Cintiq that when I draw digitally, my OCD kicks in when I magnify. I can't magnify my drawing, especially with black lines, because then I see where the lines are not connecting. You know, if you
Yes.
magnify more in, and then I'm like, okay, I got to clean that up, even though no one's going to see it at the actual image size it's going to print at.
Yeah.
But when I see it, my OCD is like, oh, quick, I just got to clean that. And, oh, man. So, yeah, I cannot magnify because it's like, well, now it looks like crap. And
I'm having issues. At the moment, I'm coloring Sirens, which is
yeah.
which is done in a very loose, sketchy style of inking, and
Mhm.
I'm a very tight inker, so I get very itchy. Trying to color some of this, I'm like, oh, this is
Really want to fix that.
This one's it went outside of the lines. They're color. Oh my god. Yeah. But I'm not touching it. It's not my. I'm just coloring it all. So, but Divinity, as I'm coloring Divinity, I'll catch some mistakes that I did in inking, and then I have to go back and fix them.
It's funny. It's weird because especially if you're at a size where no one's gonna see that, but you're gonna know it's there.
It's
You're
like,
always gonna
oh
know
my
it's there,
God.
Barb.
Oh my god! This side of this car is missing a headlight. What the hell? You know. Go back and
I
fill
want to
it
see
in.
that in a review. I really like Divinity 2, but the headlight,
In this
not
car,
on the
way in the
car.
background.
It's a zero, automatic zero.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I
that
would
one.
say that that's probably a danger in electronic digital artwork is that you can zoom up and
Then you see all
there
this.
does
shit.
come a point where you're like, yeah, okay, that really doesn't matter because no one's going to see it. No one's going
Right.
to zoom up on it like that.
I think I learned that early in the 90s because I don't know if you remember, Roland, they separated us out to do the Fleer cards.
Uh-huh.
And I was realizing that I could make a blow up poster of what I did with the detail, and it's supposed to be this big. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, slow it down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely keep it at
Yeah,
one
but-
size. I learned that the hard way.
Malibu was very much ahead of the curve with that. Would you say, Roberta?
Mm-hmm.
With the,
I think so.
Coloring?
Well, I felt like it at the time.
Yeah.
Roberta, you were talking about a card game. What were you talking about?
Oh, I was saying we had Malibu this tie-in to the Fleer overpower game card with our characters that we were working on.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was a really cool little collector's edition, you know, that you would get different sets and play against each other, and they had different powers. And so that was something you could put down.
I
It's
remember
kind
the
of
cards.
style of Magic the Gathering.
Was this something Malibu did?
Yeah, I remember the
Mhm.
cards.
Well,
but
it
I
was
never,
Marvel.
never played.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was the Marvel characters, but it was at Malibu.
Do not remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, they were
I
great.
remember the Hero Clicks became
Yeah.
big. I don't know if they still have Hero Click stuff.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Marvel overpowered collectible card game.
Yeah.
Take your word for it.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I mean,
Yeah. Did you ever play it, Roberta?
I played it enough. Well, I read the rules of it, but I didn't have anyone that I was playing with, so I didn't get that far. I probably could have, if I looked into it a little more. But it looked fun.
Yeah,
and
I remember the cards, but I never played it.
I feel bad I didn't
Yeah.
play it now. It's over.
There's that lag of mine, chat, interrupting again. Yeah.
Nicholas Cage.
Leon says, "Ouch! Should a comic company, really have reviews of other companies' books?" Just saying. Martin chooses his own books to review. He, I think these are, if I recall correctly, these are all Kickstarter books that Martin is reviewing. So.
Yeah.
I think when we talked about reviews, I had asked both Martin and Wayne. I said I didn't want any Marvel, DC comics. I wanted all independent comic reviews. Wayne does reviews of books that he can pick up at conventions or from comic shops, and then Martin does books that he got from Kickstarter. So we don't select the books. That's all Wayne and Martin. They do their own thing. Yeah. And obviously we don't have them review our books because that would be kind of self-serving, I think.
I don't have a problem with that.
But yeah, so yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with other people reviewing ours. And we can talk about them certainly, but I don't know that we can review them. Can we? We just give them all A's.
Let's give them all A's. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So what else? So Pete, since you joined us a little bit late, card games. What's the first thing that comes to mind when I say card games?
Snap.
Never heard of it.
Snap.
What is that? Can you describe it?
Tell us about Snap.
It's really simple. It's a kid's game. You get a deck of cards and you keep putting them out until you get the same number that's already out. You play, the person who plays Snap gets the cards. You can never play Snap. I mean, it's like it's a great game for like 3
Like Slapjack here.
I don't know what that is.
Sounds like some sort of English game. We ignore those things in America.
It's like the first thing you teach kids.
No,
it's so
we
simple.
take them and we change them and change the name.
And then tell everybody it's better.
It's better. That's right.
You can buy
Right. Yeah.
Just play Snap, poker, or
Because we're all
Yeah. It sounds like It sounds like slapjack here, which is the same thing, same basic concept.
Probably is. She's got a different name and stuff over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't play card games. Sorry. Or many of other games. Play board games.
So
Games
you
certainly.
don't. Okay. So you don't play card games at all? Like no poker, not Magic the Gathering, not from one extreme to the other?
We'll play poker as friends, but I wouldn't say I would know what I'm doing. I just
Are they still your friends, Peter?
know the bare essentials.
We played Cards Against Humanity.
Oh yeah, play cards.
Yeah.
Got that somewhere.
Yeah, I think you said that. Yeah, but it's funny because Cards Against Humanity is like every time I played it, like, is there a winner? And usually those games just devolves into people saying stupid stuff, which is half the fun. But I don't think I've actually played one where somebody was like, "Who won that?" Nobody cares by the end. They're just throwing the cards to prompt goofy stuff to say.
Yeah.
So.
There.
Yeah, I don't. It's.
Hello?
All right.
Yeah.
Is
Did
Willa
we-
trying to talk?
No, I thought Aaron was in the middle of saying something. He was.
Yeah, something profound, but then I lost my train of thought.
Roland looks like he's in a Godzilla
Yeah,
movie.
so I was kind of waiting on Aaron.
No, I don't have any.
No.
I apologize. This won't last forever. It won't. The change is coming. It's just going to be a little while longer. I did get a haircut though. Notice the haircut.
Yeah, very nice.
Cleaned up nicely.
Hey, John. You can't say that, John.
So, Barb,
Yes?
you mentioned poker. Tell us about poker. Your experiences, I guess.
Well, all right. I told a story on Wednesday night. Shortly after I was married, we were newlyweds, and my mother had taught me how to play poker. Believe it or not. So I called her at 11:30 at night one night, and I said, "Mom, does 3 of a kind beat a flush?" And she says, "You're playing strip poker, aren't you?" I said, "Why would you think that? Why would you think that?" Well, it's 11:30 at night and you're just married, so you're playing strip poker. But no, yeah, I mean, I've always liked poker. It's straightforward. The rules are easy. This
Well,
beats this. It's got very straightforward rules. This beats this, or this beats that. Depending on which, like my son loves Texas Hold'em. That's his favorite. But the very basic game of poker, 5-card stud, is just super easy to play. It was either that, or when I was growing up, my grandmother had an old maid deck that was like 3 decks put together, and we played old maid a lot with her, or crazy eights.
Played Crazy Eights. That was a little fun.
So where you play strip poker?
Excuse me?
So were you playing strip poker?
Yeah.
So
Thought she insinuated that already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was clear.
It's 40 years ago.
Well, she said her mom suspected it, but she never answered. So Phil Leon says, "Is euchre a thing with any of you guys, or is that primarily a Midwest thing?"
What?
I never heard of it.
Yeah. what did you-
Euchre, it's an old person's game as far as I'm concerned.
Old person's game,
Oh,
and then I'm not even gonna touch that, Barb.
So it's pinochle and bridge in my mind. Because my mom always used to go to bridge.
Oh my goodness, no, pinochle.
My mom always used to go to bridge club when we were little. So it was like a weekly thing where all the ladies of the church would get together and play bridge at somebody's house, and they would rotate, and there would be tea, and the kids would play. And
I feel the same way about bridge.
yeah, that's an old person's game as far as
Old person's
I played
game.
pinochle since I was like 19.
Well, and how old are you now?
I said since I was 19.
That's basically like asking Roland. So how was Moses?
Brett, don't encourage it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have no room to talk because I'm older than
I
that.
was there.
Way back in the
I
old
wasn't going to say it, but
I was waiting for Bob to say like, yeah, Pinocchio is an old person's game. Did I mention I'm the local champion?
Yeah.
I did not mention that. My bad.
I love Pinocchio.
But I mean, I was,
Yeah.
back in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that. The neighborhood women's groups were very, very, very Stepford wife type of thing. They all had you all had your little tray where you had your finger sandwiches and your little cup punch, and you went around and played bridge in the afternoons. And it was just right out of soap operas, right out of the Stepford Wives. So yeah, that's what it brings back memories for me for.
It was pretty funny because from Wednesday, Tim TK kind of picked up on the. I don't know if it was in chat. I don't think it was live, but he picked up on the Pinochle thing. Is that that game was a big part of the story of Trumps from the comic book, because a Pinochle is a Jack of Diamonds and a Queen of Spades in the game. A double Pinochle is 2 Jacks of Diamonds and 2 Queens of Spades, right? So a Pinochle is worth 4 points, and a double Pinochle is worth 30 points.
So a double Pinochle is just basically
in
a foursome. Okay, got it.
Good night, everybody.
Would it be
And
funny if
we're kicked off YouTube again?
in the Trump's comic, if it like maybe it is one huge game of poker they're playing in the world, and like at the very end of the book, like everyone else is naked except the winning team.
Now we're kicked off.
I thought I was the one who had to behave.
Yeah, that's just funny.
So,
We claim
in
your
the
clothes
first
for
few
ourselves.
pages of the first issue of Trumps, we do see the sexy scene with the Jack of Diamonds and the Queen of Spades. So, but I don't call it a Pinochle. Obviously, it's just political espionage in the story. But it is the Jack of Diamonds and the Queen of Spades. So if you play Pinocles, you know that that's a Pinochle.
So political espionage. That's what the kids are calling it these days. Okay, got it.
Gotta get with they got to go with the lingo.
Phil says about euchre. He says, I hear it's a thing here in Indiana, but not so much elsewhere. I've never played, but lots of people here do, young or old, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know what it is. I don't know the first thing about euchre.
So is there like specific parts of the country that are more card games are more popular than others? I didn't realize it was regional.
I would almost say, I could say, yeah.
That,
Apparently so.
yeah, I would suspect that it's a kind of card game too.
I don't know how it's played.
Like I didn't learn hand and foot
Yeah,
until
I've never heard
year
of it.
ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know how hand and foot is played either.
See, that's another one I've been. Yeah, and that's another one I've been playing since I was about 19.
I know how to play Go Fish.
Mm-hmm.
But you ever played Gin Rummy?
Yeah. And diamonds.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
And my mom
Shanghai
just
Rummy?
put a rummy tile instead of the cards. That was kind of like
A rummy what?
little tiny. They were
Tiles?
Yeah, they were little tiles. Like mahjong. Little
Oh
tiles.
yeah. I like Marshall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we switched over to that.
Stilito One stopping by to say hello. Oh, Stilito One. Thank you for stopping by. We're talking about cards.
Do we have any comments about cards from our watchers?
Just Phil talking about euchre.
Which is a really funny sounding name.
Yeah, I know. Where did they come up with the name
I know,
Pinochle?
it makes me think of.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
I don't know. I don't know it's probably French.
I don't think I want to know the origination of that name. That's sounds slightly icky.
sounds horrible. Too much for this family orientated show.
Yes, we don't want to get kicked.
Wait,
out
we're
of
family orientated? What?
orientated.
Orientated.
We're family orientated? What?
Is that one of is that one of those sound effects?
It is.
Hey, Pete, you recognize what Roberta's coloring, don't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh,
I'm enjoying it.
Peter's like, I drew that.
I did do it. I did that.
Mm-hmm. You did a lot of work in this one.
Toledo
Yeah.
says, I am new to your channel, but I follow you guys on other social medias. Well, thank you, Toledo. We appreciate
Yeah.
it. And we appreciate the follow of the channel. We're here on Sunday nights and on Wednesday nights, a different crew. The Wednesday Whammers are on Wednesday from 9 to 11, and the Silver Sunday Bunch is on from 9 to 11 on Sundays. Sometimes we have some crossover. We try to. Matter of fact, somebody needs to crash the Wednesday party this coming Wednesday. Do you guys want to do that? Berta, maybe Pete, Aaron.
Yeah, I could do that.
I think you. Oh no, Aaron, you've already been though. Yeah.
I'll probably.
Yeah,
be
they hate me
asleep.
there.
Roberta or Pete.
Maybe. Yeah.
No, they don't hate you there.
They never let me in. I just see this big middle finger on the screen.
I told you they Tommy was surprised. Like, yeah, I'm surprised Aaron didn't interrupt anybody.
I will say that that is a challenge on that channel. I'm trying to wait for a subtle break to interrupt, but I don't think they breathe.
Why,
I think
you
it's
don't
just a
hear?
collective hold breath, speak until end of the session, and then that's especially when somebody brings up something, and then C. Michael's like, that's not right, and then there's a 20-minute lecture about why that's not possible. Especially you bring up teleportation or flight, then you just kind of sit back and let him go on.
Did someone say Crash? Crash is my middle name. Yeah. What's happened, Stelio, is that we split into two. So we started the channel in 2018 or 2019? 2019. I started about this time last year, and we just boom. We just blew up so quickly in how many of us wanted to and were able to participate. So we decided to split into two nights, and so we had two different groups, and those groups individually have grown. Because Roberta, like, I don't think you were ever on a Wednesday, were you?
No.
Well,
I
Pete wasn't either, I don't think.
I
Oh,
started
it's on
out
Wednesday now.
asking for Sunday.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I started with
So-
like, it was like Brent, Tommy,
Uh-huh.
and when you said Sunday, they were
Barb.
like, is Tommy coming over there? Tommy's like, no, I'm going to stay on Wednesday. I'm like, well, then obviously I'm going to Sunday because further I can get away from that guy.
Yeah.
I know he's listening too. I know he's
so
listening
yeah,
right now to me.
Yeah, he's
And
He said he had stuff to do.
he's
And
can
I
always-
stayed on Sundays because usually what happens is that after everybody signs off, Roland and I sit there and talk business.
Yeah.
we have a board meeting,
yeah.
not the fun kind of game either.
Yeah, at the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
So you mean you go, Roland, I need these tomorrow. I can't wait any longer.
Pretty
Yes,
much,
pretty
yeah. I'm not going to tell you again, Roland.
Although that's right. Although
Don't make me
I
get
was a little bit ahead of the
BJ.
curve this time, right? That's exactly what she does. And then BJ comes in here, she's like, "Why haven't you sent this yet?" I'm like, "I just gotta do it. I know I gotta do it." Yeah, but we're a little bit ahead of the curve this time, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
We're
yeah.
starting to get more streamlined. When we first started, it was like the left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing, and we've worked it out over the last year. We've gotten much more streamlined in getting all of our accounts lined up.
Yeah. So anyway, Toledo, to explain the whole crash thing, we're talking about, we're trying to get, somebody from Sunday to go and crash the Wednesday party so that the Wednesday folks will know, because except for the time we did Comic Conway, I don't think Roberta's had the opportunity to really interact with any of the Wednesday folks, unless they've been on here. And same for
Well, we
same
did
for Pete.
crash the
Well, and
Wednesday
Aaron up until
group, right?
Yeah.
We did have that
yes,
one
we did.
Wednesday
Yeah.
crash group. So there's that one.
Yes, that was fun.
Hey, Roberta,
Yeah, so,
quick question.
So anyway, that's what we're talking about, crashing.
Yeah. Any question?
Go ahead, Aaron.
Do you use channels in your selections?
Of course,
Okay.
but not when I'm. I use the channels for the creation of the document.
Okay.
You know, so I have. That's where I keep the line art.
Okay.
So it's.
Was it channels the one where you can save the selection?
You can save it. Well, I will give you a real funny little tidbit about early history of Photoshop. They used to limit how many channels could be included.
Oh, really?
But we
Okay.
would use the channels for saving the selection of the major figures or the major
Yeah.
characters. And
I didn't mean to get off topic. I was looking, and I remember. I don't use channels that much. I'm always curious.
I use channels a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, most of the time I use it when I'm photo retouching for actual photographs because I can pull a color out really easily.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Channels are powerful. I think.
So when I ask you to do things like,
go ahead, Roland.
I was gonna say, so when I ask you to do things like pop the character off the background, is that when you use channels? Because I like to put the logos and stuff behind them.
No, I use layers for everything, but the layer has a layer mask. The layer mask lives in the channels. If that makes sense.
Is that big X because you broke the link there?
Because I selected it, it's here.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's up here, but whatever. So the masks are black and white and shades of gray. And everything in a channel is a black and white. So it's distinguished what version of ink gets placed on it.
Yeah.
So I have channels for the most part, not necessary while I'm coloring, but it's part of it. It's embedded in part of it. And like I said, if I really want to affect a particular color, sometimes I'll do that. But I guess I do so much of it with, let me show you something, with the hue saturation, that you can affect the channel just with the color choice. So it's really not as necessary to go to the individual channel for that.
Interesting. Yeah, I pretty much color just by doing the multiplying coloring behind it, then adding my coloring style. Super simple compared to what you do.
Yeah, I could probably simplify it a little more.
Well, no, I mean that's how you were taught. That's how you're taught. I had to figure. I tried to look up computer coloring at one time, and I was like, no, I kind of developed my own. And I thought my system was unique, and then I found that other artists who do similar to my style, that's what they discovered. But I just kind of played around with like layer modes and stuff, and started figuring stuff out.
That's how I do mine, is layer modes, because I'm not smart enough to figure out Photoshop.
Yeah.
What's a layer mode?
You would if you just stumbled
Roberta has been doing this for a couple of years.
In Photoshop, it would be like multiply or different or whatever. Does it? If you look, point at layer modes really quick, Roberta. You know there in the layer.
Well, we have for whatever modes.
That's layer modes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And that affects the color dramatically based on what it is.
Right.
And I use that all the time.
Yeah, Procreate has that too, where you can do a hard
But it's
burn
clip.
or a color burn or light dark overlay.
Didn't know that. That's
yeah, and I use the layer modes the most when I'm trying to decide what I want to do with a background.
Right.
When I start playing around with the colors, and the layer mode helps to make some of those decisions.
Procreate is like Photoshop for dummies.
I think they made Procreate to be simpler because Photoshop takes up too much processing power. I
It is,
think
and I mean, Photoshop is made strange enough to actually manipulate photos. It's they've applied stuff you can draw in it, but Photoshop was never actually created to be a drawing program.
I've never known that because I've used it since 4.0.
Yeah,
Or
most people I
probably
think
before.
it accommodated that too. That's why when I've used Manga Studio, Clip Studio, there was many more tools geared towards actual drawing. It made the actual drawing process and coloring much easier. And I'm like, oh, I get it, because Photoshop was kind of geared towards, and then they started adding, okay. But I'm so used to Photoshop like you, Roberta, that's what I use. Because I've used it like you since the inception, so that's my go-to. Even though it's not the super most amazing program, a most efficient program to do that.
Well, it is, I think, the most efficient if you are knowing what you're doing, you're fast enough at it. If you are having to look for it, then it slows you down enough for other programs to be easier to use.
I've recently discovered I can like triple my speed by using Alpha Lock a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that I've noticed too, that I had this problem early on when we were streaming, that there was like this huge slowdown on my system. So I was like, what can I do to color faster? You know, and that's one of the things I could do is I could select a whole group of these of one color and then, you know, float the layer and lock it. And with the alpha lock on, I can just color on it.
Right.
So I can do whatever I want and it won't affect anything but what I did. And that helps so much. It makes it so much better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving my Alpha Lock.
Toledo said, Dag nabbit, the deposit on the wrecking ball rental was non-refundable. Talking about crash.
Well, yeah.
Phil Leon then said, Photoshop is my go-to, and I use multiply and blending modes a lot. Okay, y'all talk.
Hey Peter, we were discussing earlier that you should have put in a few more pockets. Pouches.
A few
pouches.
more, yeah.
Not enough on there.
I tried my best. I realized I have to draw this for I don't know how many other pages more.
That's the problem.
I was like, oh Jesus, I really made a rod of mine back here. I've got to keep drawing this again and again. I was relieved when I could start throwing stuff off it.
I think that's awesome.
In the fight scene, in the end, he's going to start losing stuff, and then he gets to take it off. And I was like, we're not putting that back on.
Just out of curiosity, and you guys have an opinion on using subtle textures in comics?
I love them.
Art?
I love them for backgrounds. I really do
Yeah.
love them for backgrounds, but I think that they call attention to the scene so much that, you know, I'd rather let the line art work.
Yeah.
You know, because it tends to be more interesting in somehow to the, you know, to the flat background. So I think that's the only place I really want to put it.
Right. That's usually what I do too. I mean, on my Godlings, the old page, like I do this old page texture, but I do put one about like multiply it 50% on top to give it this texture over the art, so it kind of looks like it's part of the page. So I do, and then even when I do like color, I do multiply a lot and then minimize it so it pulls out that texture of the old page in there. And I don't try to overdo it. I've seen some people, because I don't know, you can overdo it. There's one artist I know that discovered textures, and oh my God, he's like, dude, stop. He went like, he's like, I'm scanning oranges for textures. I'm like, stop, you're killing me, dude.
Oh.
I like to use it within reason. For instance, I just finished a page on Divinity where it takes place in this old fashioned like English country manor. Yeah, and it has wallpaper on the walls. Well,
perfect.
It's got to have some texture on the wallpaper, you know.
Yeah,
that's a
just
given.
a little bit.
Yeah, it's a very subtle, you know.
I think that's the best
hunter
way.
green wallpaper.
I think there was something you did, Barb, that I really liked. Like you colored a picture in the background. Like there is a photograph on the wall. It was kind of more realistic, or you know, it had that kind of a.
I dropped that in, yeah. There's if you look really carefully in the last cat and mouse, there's a photo on the wall in the library there. That's actually my wedding photo.
Really?
Now he's gonna have to go find it.
Everyone's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. The last issue you say?
The last issue, yeah, number 3. It's got.
Okay.
I think it's the one where he's got all the kids lined up.
Shalito says. Oh, okay, yeah. Shalito says, I never got to hang up coloring in Corel Draw when I did my characters and book cover. And then Hyper Potato says, like and subscribe. It's free. What's up, Hyper? Yes, it's free. Please like, please subscribe.
So now he's
looking through Cat and Mouse number 3 right now.
I think it's in the scene where he's got the boys all lined up in a row.
Oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about now. But that's
yeah.
Yeah, I see it. It looks like it's off to the left a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's right there.
Yeah.
Where I can't see my finger.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Neat.
Yeah, I just
Wow. Page 19 then. Very cool.
that one I just
Oh, actually, yeah, it's actually much close up right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I imported the photo and just kind of drew over it in that one. But I've done other ones where I've found a black and white piece of artwork and just warped it a bit or something like that and stuck it in.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. That's it. That's my wedding photo.
She's claimed the comic is now Barbara's. I claim it for my own.
That's great. I didn't even notice that.
It's the little things.
That's fantastic.
How long does it take you to finish a page, Roberta? Like, in general?
Well,
I know each
it
page is
depends
different.
on whose page. I mean, Peter's pages. Oh my god.
Yeah, Peter, what are you doing to her, man? God.
Don't blame me, blame Roland.
I'm trying to keep it under.
Listen, I got to take up for Pete. Pete's doing an awesome job now. Come on.
Yeah, it's like
Just have to draw what I'm
fantastic.
told to draw.
which is a lot more than I expected.
Yeah, I know.
It's looking fantastic. Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Her stuff always looks fantastic. It's
Uh,
gives me something to strive for.
You're doing so much work right now, Barb. I just can't wait to see how it turns out. I'm so excited. Sirens is coming along, right?
Yep, I'm working on it now. I work on
Yeah.
Sirens at night when I'm watching TV, and I work on Divinity during the days. But I'm only 2 pages away from finishing the colors on the next issue of Divinity. So then I'll concentrate on
Nice.
Sirens, because I really want to finish. It's 60 some pages, I think, something like that.
Oh, that's a lot.
No, it's
Not in a
48.
hurry.
48.
Remember that one's not. Well, there's more pages after that.
I know. As soon as Dick finishes
So-
cleaning Pendulum, he's going to start on the next issue of Sirens,
Mhm.
cleaning up that.
Okay,
So
yeah.
this is,
So, and that was not a huge hurry, so don't stress over that one.
well, I've been on this for a year, so yeah, I'm starting to stress a little bit.
She's tired of looking at your
It's
stuff.
been a
I'm
year.
tired of this.
Like it. It's a new thing.
So yeah, as soon as I finish Divinity, I've got to jump on inking the next issue of Cat and Mouse and finishing up the colors on the Sirens remix.
I'm still concepting stuff out for the stuff I'm doing for Silverline, and I finally come to a character where I'm gonna have to think for a few days because I usually had a vision for almost every other character. Now I'm to the character. I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to start thinking about him. Usually the characters in that story just pop into my head, and I'm like, oh, okay, I generally know the idea. This one I'm kind of stumped on.
What's his
So, and then
basic
I'll be getting stuff
characteristics?
to.
It'll come.
Well, I am giving him a gun that literally transforms like a transformer. I thought that would be cool.
Oh,
But as far as what he looks like,
cell phone
Oh.
by day, gun
Yeah.
by night.
I had a ninja who has like he's a cyber ninja sword, and I was like, what is his gimmick? And I thought, well, maybe his sword can do ice, fire, and electricity, so it can switch between the two because he's in the future. I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of cool.
So doesn't Megatron transform into a gun?
He does, but well, this guy isn't transforming into a gun. His gun transforms into other modes, like physically transforms into other modes. So he himself does not transform into a gun.
Okay, so it can be more than one mode. It doesn't just doesn't have like one mode that transfers into another. It can transfer
Literally,
multiple?
yeah, the gun. Literally, I was just thinking the gun itself could actually just start shifting shapes like a transformer and turn into different modes.
So anything it wants to.
Yeah,
So
because
it could
this
be
is
a-
supposed to be like super far in the future. So
So it can
yeah.
be a toaster.
If it wanted to be, if it wanted to be a bomb or whatever. I mean, I'm thinking by the future, these guns wouldn't actually be taking ammunition, so you wouldn't have to really worry about that. They'd be either energy based in some form. So laser gun. So I don't know. I'm trying to give each one kind of a unique sense of what they can do. You'll like. I think her name is Faraday. You'll like her. She has robotic arms where her hands extend out like whips. She carries
Okay.
blades in there. She's like a whirl. So she looks a little different. And it made her like kind of look like more of a preppy. She's a little bit of a preppy girl, like a looker. So I don't know. She's a fun one. I'm gonna have fun drawing her. And she's based off a movie called Ninja Assassin. If you guys have seen any of that.
No, please tell me
No.
Scarlett Johansson didn't play her.
No, Rain. Rain played this guy. Do you guys know the K-pop singer Rain? Come on, this is international love. Give a little bit. Okay, I know we're in America.
What?
Sorry.
No.
Who?
No.
Yeah. So Rain is an international pop star in Korea, like very famous.
Aaron needs to take a break. This is not no.
So yeah, but they gave him this weapon where it was like this knife on a chain, and the way they filmed him using it, it was just like a whirlwind of like just destruction. If you watch clips of him using it, I was like, that's exactly what I want. Most of my characters are designed based on ideas and motions I see in movies or video games. I'm like, I like that idea. Let's bring it. So I don't think of superpowers. I think of something cool. I saw a motion or somebody did something unique. And then I bring that into my characters. Like, okay, I want them to be able to repeat this motion as a weapon or something. And that was it. So I was like, oh, this would be amazing. And I'm always surprised that no one's thought of this stuff before. So I'm like, okay, you know. But yeah, that's how I always do it. So yeah, I know some, and I know
And then 3
Sharu.
years after publication, you find it in another book that someone else did.
Someone else did it. Yeah. I've had a few books. I looked up with my kids' book, the idea of an alien wildlife photographer. I'm like, somebody's got to thought of this before. I never found any reference to in that concept.
Alien
at all.
wildlife photographer. No,
That's my
pretty,
kid's book.
That's pretty special.
Yeah. You guys have seen my kids' books. Yeah, that's what he is. And I thought, come on, somebody's got to thought of that before. And nope. The only book, and that's from a book called Expedition by Wayne Barlow, who's a naturalist alien painter. You can look up Wayne Barlow. He does all sorts of, he did a book on hell and stuff. His parents were naturalist painters, but he started painting sci-fi stuff. He does a lot of concept work. And he did this book called Expedition, where there was like, we had contacted aliens, and basically the aliens had invited us to go explore this planet. And I can't remember the name of the planet. And so in the book, it's about this guy literally traveling around this planet, sketching these things, talking about it, and he developed an entire ecosystem in a way that these creatures lived or whatever. And it kind of became the Bible of a art community called Biospec, which my friend Tom is part of, which is speculative biology. So to go into from that, I took off the idea of like, wouldn't it be cool if the guy went to a planet, it was actually a wildlife photographer, but photographing aliens if exploring a planet. And that was it. That was the idea. And no one else thought of it. I'm like, I just usually think my ideas are not that original, but apparently I can't find anyone online who's done it. So I'm like, okay. So,
cool.
I went on that one.
Speaking of aliens, has anybody watching Resident Alien on Sci-Fi?
Love it. It's so fun.
Oh, it's so funny.
So funny.
Wasn't that based off a comic too?
Yes.
Yeah. It's off of comic. All the best shows are off of comics.
It's brilliant.
He's
Which
so
one?
awkward.
What is that one on?
Yeah.
What streaming channel is that on?
Sci-Fi.
It's on Sci-Fi Channel, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see that.
He's
That's
so,
Alan Tudyk, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's so funny. He's a funny guy, but it's brilliant.
he's so awkward, and it's just almost embarrassing. My husband just laughs hilariously because the first time he had a physical reaction, he was like, "Oh!" Like, he didn't know what was happening to him. So, and Dick
It's
was
just the way he
laughing so
plays. He just it's easier just for him to kill everybody. It's just I just kill him. It's easier. Just
Yes.
kill the child. It's and he just starts to kill him. It's so good.
Yeah, his understanding of the humans. He's trying to pass himself off as human. That's the whole thing, and he's really bad at it. And it is it's really hilarious. You guys got to watch it. I swear.
I will
Bill
totally
says
watch
Resident
it.
Alien rocks. You can't go wrong with Tudyk.
Yeah,
No.
agreed.
So that's my recommendation for the night. Everybody
have
go watch
sci-fi, so-
Resident Alien.
It's like homework. I gotta watch.
That's right.
We've been watching shoot a computer the thing on Netflix, Halt to Catch Fire, something like that.
Oh, I like that one. It's slow, but I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we've enjoyed it quite a bit. It is a little slow, but the thing about it is they're talking about all the computer stuff that I remember from back in those days. Because when I went into college in the early '80s, my program, I was studying computer science. I was in computer science for 2.5 years until I decided I hated it. I didn't hate the computer science; I hated the math. And so I got out of that, and that's what that's when I went into creative writing.
But we're way behind. I know that. But we finally gotten around to starting Cobra Kai tonight.
Oh, good.
Finally get here.
Oh, you'll like that.
Yeah, we watched the first episode tonight, and we're already hooked. So
Yeah.
Okay, so in the chat thing, just so you guys know, I'm not completely
managed
crazy. I put a link if you guys want to watch this later. So that book Expedition I told you about, the one you guys were like, okay, I'll take your word for it. They made a CGI animated special on it years ago, based on this book. This is a link to the entire special talking about alien planets based on the book, just for your enjoyment. So no,
Aaron,
I'm not.
Can I put this on the?
Yeah, you can put it on there. Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely.
But don't go watch it right now. Wait till we're done.
Yeah. Don't go watch it now. But yeah, so the book is great. I know every time I talk about stuff beyond comics, a lot of people in here are like, "What?
What?
What? That's not a comic book."
Why did that not? Why did that not go? I guess we are getting close to the time to be done. It is 10:51 here, and that message didn't seem to go. I don't know why.
That was quick. It's almost like I've only been here like an hour.
Yeah.
Peter, I hate to break it to you.
Yeah. Well, Peter, when you show up, everyone starts watching the clock. I mean, because we can't,
I can believe it. I can believe it.
I just realized I gotta move my my clock forward right there.
So I know I'm watching show. I'm watching Family Guy again. Go figure.
Oh,
I think
wow.
that's my big claim to fame, watching stupid stuff. I tried to watch the first episode of WandaVision. Does that get any better?
Yes, it does. Really? Did you
I
just
actually
ask that
loved the
question,
first
Aaron?
episode,
I
and
like
yes, it does.
Okay.
it. Keeps
Silly
going.
question, really. If I'm honest, silly question. Silly question. No more of that.
I'll give it one more episode, and then I may have to pull the trigger if it doesn't get better.
No, watch all 7.
No.
It's so good.
8, 9.
No.
You have to,
No.
Aaron.
I know. Now you guys are
about
gonna
4.
grill me on it. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm the worst when it comes to this stuff for people. I still need to watch The Mandalorian too.
Every episode.
Oh.
You haven't seen the Mandalorian?
Why are you
I
even
saw
on
the
this?
first season,
God.
and then I haven't watched the second season yet.
Should I
What
put
are
him,
you
Pete?
doing with yourself?
Just turn him off.
Just
Turn
turn
him
them on.
Eject him.
What are you trying to
I mean,
say?
I don't know if Disney
Aaron?
actually made
Aaron,
competent stuff. I'd watch it.
No, amazing. Amazing. Just
We're gonna treat Aaron like a character from Among Us.
Oh, really?
Voted off.
I'm a
out.
voted off. I'm the yeah.
Yeah. Aaron's a little sus.
He's been voted off the island.
Mhm.
Man,
No,
that
actually-
game is awesome.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
don't.
see it.
I watch. Yeah, I get around. I do watch Cobra Kai. I liked Cobra Kai. That was fun.
yeah.
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 Okay, well, we have the official
Well, you don't-
English.
You don't like that one, Pete?
Never seen it. Yeah.
I think being
Oh.
the one of Valley Girl, I grew up exactly where that was. It's funny as hell.
I like Karate Kid, the first
Yeah.
film. I've not seen anything else. Didn't see any of the sequels. I
You
guess.
just gotta watch it for Johnny. That's the whole series
Oh.
is just for Johnny. The guy's hilarious in there.
Yeah.
I don't see how he gets away with some of that.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It's good. I liked it quite a bit. Yeah, Phil Leon says 50 demerits, Aaron.
50 demerits. Oh, I got 50 demerits. That's okay. Well, I mean, I
Aaron,
can name.
you are
I
the
could probably
weakest
name
link.
shows on here that none of you guys have ever seen that are sci-fi classics. So
Aaron, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Probably not too many.
have you guys watched Neon Genesis Evangelion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys watch
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
You've seen the
No.
whole thing?
No, but am I missing out? Am I
No.
honestly missing out?
If you go to Japan, yes, you are.
Yeah.
They make amusement parks out of this thing. Like, yeah, it's huge. And I'm just excited for that because they brought out the newest movie in Japan, so it should be coming out here soon. So
Mhm.
I know I'm not a Disney
Okay.
fan. No, I do not like new Disney. I like old Disney, but I do not like new Disney at all.
Are you going to be watching Falcon and Winter Soldier next week?
No.
Yes.
I am excited.
That's not my thing. So
Turn him off. Mute him.
I know.
Yeah, we'll
Mute
make
him.
with you.
Hey, Roland.
He's a Philistine.
Fry
I
Rush
am.
number 3 is gonna look really different.
Which one?
I said Fry Rush number 3 is gonna look really different.
Is it going to look really different? Oh, I know. I don't take much offense to any of this, so
Well, we're the ones that we should be taking offense.
Okay. So,
taking offense because I'm not watching.
That's right. We should.
Because I'm not watching certain television shows.
Yeah,
Peter, if you
totally not
actually
taking
are
offense.
taking offense because I'm not watching certain TV shows, I apologize in advance,
I'm
and I
taking
like to
offense
keep
for
open
you.
communication
I'm taking offense for you. You're missing out.
for me.
Yeah.
On behalf of England, we
Yeah.
take offense on.
Just really letting yourself down.
Yeah. If Pete starts speaking in the we,
Yeah.
we take offense.
I'll be messaging the group strongly after this.
Okay.
Why do we have him on the show?
Okay, so this episode was mostly about, was supposed to be mostly about cards, but we strayed a whole bunch. I think it's mostly because we don't really have a whole lot of, this group's not really full of a lot of card players.
I think
We're rebels.
But we talked about cards some.
We're not
I
a
think we
joyous
got
group.
more out of the board games. I think
Um,
board games are more our speed. I think.
Yeah.
Books. Books.
Yeah.
We had talked about
Yeah.
books. I
Oh,
went
we should do a segment about books. Yeah.
My
you
favorite
know,
We should do a
fantasy
show
novels.
just.
We could
We
do
should
it.
do a show just
Books.
about Disney episodes. So Aaron
should.
has nothing to say.
Well, I got lots to say on them. I've seen them. I just don't like them.
Let's do a WandaVision episode.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Aaron has nothing to say.
Yeah.
All right, Brett, you said that there was something else that needed to be said, right? So did they hear you, or are you just talking to my ear?
We all heard that.
We all heard you.
They did. The audience can't.
Okay. So
Oh yeah, of course.
yes. So can you say it where the audience can hear?
He's the man
Okay,
behind the
so
curtain.
what are you showing?
Yeah.
Because I can't see the
Sure, knock yourself out.
this t-shirt.
He's the amazing
Brett,
Oz.
this t-shirt. Okay, all right. So our merch of the we're gonna do of the month. Merch of this month is the t-shirt, like the one I have on here. I don't know if you can still see me. If not, I'm holding like the one that is being displayed on the stream now. So you can get it on Zazzle. And you should also go and look. Okay. I can't. I don't know that I want to take. I don't know that I want to. I don't want to challenge my computer. Why is everybody laughing? All right, I'm going to go look and see what it is now.
God, you're killing me.
I'm breaking my comic. What? Stop it, John. What are you laughing at? I can't see.
'Cause
it.
Oh, I'm laughing at
So,
this picture of the shirt.
I can't see the picture of the shirt.
I'm trying to
Maybe
load.
stop
This. Hang on.
I
If I
can't
go
see the
back
picture
to
of the
the,
shirt either.
Thank you, Peter, for an awesome page.
I'm trying to load.
Thank
Somebody
you,
is
Roland,
like
for making
trying
me
to
write
show
it.
off some
Oh,
like
thank
Yes.
you, awesome.
flexing.
Oh, what? She put that picture up. Is that the picture your mom gave you of me?
Hey, Tommy's here. Where did he come from?
My.
Look
What?
at that twisted
Ah,
steel sex
that's
appeal.
why.
I just got there.
I haven't got there yet, so
Man of
I'm
Steel.
not sure. I appreciate all these laughs. So anyway, this must be why Mom wanted to show him so badly today. I'm still trying to load the stupid stream. This is my computer issues, y'all. This is what's going on. But
Well, you ordered the new one, right?
It's on the way.
coming.
It's
Oh, on the
coming.
way. Okay, cool.
yes, it's coming. It's going to be a couple of weeks, but it is coming.
That's cool. Are you having it built
so
for
until
you?
then, I've got to continue to fight with this.
Can you just nip to the shop and buy it?
No, it was kind of
You got a specially made high
well,
tech.
it was kind of
Jazz.
an options thing. No. It was kind of here's the base. You pick this, pick that, pick this, pick
Yeah.
that. And
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
the
built-
builder.
built
so
it.
it's
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of yeah.
Wow.
And I'm still trying to load the YouTube, so
The
The
YouTube.
YouTube.
and it's not my
It's
internet.
already down, Roland. You're not
Not
gonna
my
see it.
internet. Okay, well, I don't know why I'm trying to load the stupid thing then. So I'm not gonna keep loading this because it's just taxing my computer and it's literally it's hot to the touch here. If I try to touch the screen, it's hot to the touch.
Imagine.
All right, so we got 13 more days to go on the Silverline double feature Kickstarter. Please get over there, give it a look, back it if you can, and share it if you will. We'll go around and tell everyone where you can be found on the interwebs. Barb, we'll start with you. Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Barbara Kaelberg. That's KAALBERG. You can find me on Twitter, DeviantArt, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram under that name.
All right. Excellent. John, what about you? Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, Instagram, soon to be YouTube. John Martin, or John Martin, or Real John Martin Art, or Artistic Viking. One of those. You can find me easy.
Apparently, that's
All
it.
right, Roberta, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
you could find me on Instagram and Facebook under Roberta Conroy, or look for Roby Conroy sometimes. That's easier. But yes, that's.
All right, Aaron, what about you? Where
Facebook
can folks
on
find you on the interwebs?
Aaron Humphreys or Humphreys Illustration, and that's just add an RES at HUMPHRES. Instagram at ALH3810, and then on Webtoons, you can find my Goblins. Just type in Goblins in the search engine, you'll find it. And I'll be posting that hopefully by next week. That's what I'm hoping to start. So, and that posts every Monday. I have it every Monday. I'm posting 3 pages. So that's it.
Nice, thank you, Aaron. Pete, what about you? Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
That's Peter Clinton Art, and you can just type that into Google and you'll find me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and website, and yeah. So type it in.
All right, and I'm Roland. You can find me on all the appropriate social medias at Roland Man. I think I'm Man Roland on Twitter, but just look for my caricature. You can usually, it looks just like me. So I think there's a couple of them that don't have the glasses. So you just got to look at this face right here, right? Yeah, and certainly you can find, don't forget to follow and like and subscribe to the Silverline channels. Silverline website is silverlinecomics.com, but we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, all those places. We've been doing some fun stuff with Instagram with this Kickstarter, and so I hope we're going to do a little more things like that. As one who doesn't have a cell phone, I have to go onto the computer and see the Instagram, but it's looking pretty good, and we're ahead of it. So please like and subscribe and follow and share all that kind of stuff. Shout out once again to Daytona Beach Comic Con. Don't forget to be back here on Wednesday to listen to the Wednesday Whammers. Anybody else got anything else? All right. Well, until
Back to
then,
Kickstarter.
Yep.
make mine
mine
Silverline.
Silverline.
Come on.